Welcome back. All right, so the other half of the games today, if you're looking for the review of the first four, already on the channel. So go ahead and check that out. If you're here for the review of the final four games that were played tonight, you're in the right place. All right, so starting things off, the Pittsburgh Penguins in against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus, of course, needs to go on a run if they're going to get back into the hunt. So these are all must-win games for Columbus from here, right? So it's DeSmith versus Merzlikins. DeSmith needed a bounce-back game from some of his recent, and I know he's had a couple of good starts in there, but he needs to get himself going too, and he kind of did that. So Boquist has a chance to block it away early. Columbus presses at 3.5 minutes. Friedman has a rush chance that's saved and held. And then it's Bjorkstrand that opens the scoring for Columbus from Roslovic and Voracek at 4:43. And halfway through this first period, the shots are 8-5 Columbus. So they're sharp. They're playing really well. They're out shooting Pittsburgh. But then the second half takes place. Crosby's denied. Columbus clears out after that. Penguins get a power play. That's killed off. There's a post for Rodriguez after it's done, and the Penguins get some pressure. The lively boards and stanchions are in play in this one. There were very often pucks coming off the stanchions that were going out to the front of the net. So I didn't think that favored either team unless this is something that's common with Columbus, but I haven't really seen that this many times. Maybe it's one of those fluke things, right? Simone has a net feed that's kicked aside. The Penguins with some momentum. There's a near miss for Gensel. Kapanen's denied, but then they tie it. It's Ruhwedel from Malkin and Kapanen at 19:11. That one went in off Gavrikov. Your score is 1-1 after one. Second period. Gensel's denied in the first minute. Penguins get a power play. Malkin has a shot that's saved. Rust was denied. That power play's killed off. Blue Jackets then get a power play. There was another stanchion bounce. DeSmith saves off of the result from that. Laine with a slapper that's kicked aside. And then at 8:39, just after the power play ended, Roslovic puts Columbus back in the lead. So Columbus up 2-1. Things look pretty good. Penguins then press for an answer. Carlson and Aston Reese were unfriendly. We end up with a 4-on-4 coming out of all that. Penguins control most of the 4-on-4. Rodriguez is denied during that. Penguins had a 3-on-2 that was defended. Dumoulin's denied. Very good game to this point. Domi has a rush chance that's saved. And by a very good game, I'm meaning Merzlikins there, who's coming back off injury. So Domi has a rush chance denied. Friedman has a chance that deflects out. Friedman was all over the ice tonight. So third period, Columbus up 2-1. Post for Gavrikov early. Carter has a chance that's kicked out. The Penguins press at 6 minutes. Rust has a chance that's saved and held. Friedman saves a Bemstrom goal. So that one was going to go across the line, and he takes it right off the line, make sure it doesn't go over. At 9:23, or with 9:23 left, I should say, Pittsburgh gets a power play, and they score on it. It's Malkin who ties it from Rust and Gensel at 11:14. No chance for Merzlikins on that one. Now it's a matter of trying to get to extra time if you're Columbus. Kapanen with a rush. The Penguins press with 4 minutes left, and eventually Crosby gets a goal. He scores from Letang and Rust at 17:46. Is challenged for goalie interference. I didn't see anything there, so I didn't take it off the board. Sure enough, it's a good goal. Penguins power play. Rodriguez has a shot saved during that. Pittsburgh holds on. They win 3-2. They had to challenge there because, you're down by 1 with 2 minutes left. You got to challenge and try. But, yeah, Pittsburgh wins this one 3-2. They go to 33-14-8 on the season. Columbus drops to 27-25-1. The shots, 14-13 Pittsburgh in the first, 14-12 Pittsburgh in the second, 12-9 Pittsburgh in the third. Final shots 40-34 for the Penguins. Power plays, Pittsburgh 1-for-4, Columbus 0-for-1. The hits, 16 each. DeSmith saves 32 out of 34. Merzlikins saves 37 out of 40. And, pretty entertaining game. Not too bad of a watch. Next up, Vancouver in against the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers, and it's funny because at the start of this game, there was a tweet I responded to about how 5-on-5, the Rangers' play hasn't been very good this year. And it's true. They get outchanced a lot. Shesterkin bails them out here and there, or bails them out a lot, depending on your point of view. This game was Demko versus Georgiev, so you don't have Shesterkin in net. Zibanejad's denied and close. Pearson fires one wide. The Canucks get some pressure, and eventually Pearson scores. He scores from JT Miller at 3:12. He roofed it, while the Rangers' defense kind of stood around and watched him do it. So that wasn't a great look for the Rangers' defense there. Besser then can't bury another, as the Canucks tried. Kreider's then robbed on a deke opportunity he had on a nice little rush there. It was ridiculous. Canucks are giving the Rangers prime chances. I thought that while the Rangers weren't getting a lot of opportunities, the ones that were getting were just golden, and Demko's holding it together. Canucks giving them too many, and then there's a press by the Canucks at 8.5 minutes. Then there's a delay game call. The Rangers go to the power play. There's 2 misses by Zibanejad. Kreider's then robbed. There's a shorthanded chance for Hamonic. That's fired wide. They do kill off that power play. Dryden Hunt then had a chance that deflects out. Myers had a 3-on-2 opportunity that was saved, and then Pettersson was saved as well during that same run of play. Canucks press with 5 minutes left. The Rangers get a power play. That's killed off. And then the Canucks score again before the period's out. It's Myers with his first goal of the season from Miller and Highmore at 1921. So JT Miller with 2 assists already, and multiple point games is kind of what JT Miller does. And then that was a rush after Keandre Miller was denied too. So Keandre Miller has an opportunity. Demko makes a huge save, and then Myers gets the goal at the other end. It's 2-0 Vancouver after 1 period. Second period, OEL has a chance to tips high. Lammikko with a rush chance that was saved. The Canucks press at 3.5 minutes. Shen was denied. Lammikko was not. He continues this amazing run he's been on. He scores from Shen and Mott at 6:06. It was kind of flung at the net. Ends up going in. They don't ask how, just how many. So that makes it 3-0. The Rangers press with 9.5 minutes left. The Rangers then get a power play. Zibanejad can't bury one, and it's killed off. So that Canucks penalty kill, which has been a problem most of the season, tonight it was really good. Canucks then get a power play of their own. Hughes has a chance that's held. There's a lot of cycling, which kind of drives me nuts. It's one of those just shoot the puck, but they did. Highmore scores after a face-off win towards the end of that power play from Ekman Larson and Myers at 15-16. So it's deflected, and yeah, Highmore gets the goal. So Highmore and Lammikko, and it's 4-0 all of a sudden. And things get kind of scrummy after a save from Demko on Dryden Hunt. This was an interesting game in that there was a guy named Hunt on both teams. There was a guy named Miller on both teams, so kind of got to stay on your toes to keep up with this one. But it's 4-0 Vancouver after 2. Did I feel happy? Not yet, because I never underestimate a Rangers comeback, and I know they can do it. I've seen them do it. So third period, Hughes nearly had an early own goal. That would not have been very good. He doesn't, though, or else I wouldn't be wearing the Hughes. Höglander with a rush. He misses, but the Canucks press after that. Schneider then has a chance that's saved at the other end of the ice. Höglander has a tip that hits the outside of the net. The Canucks are leading in shots 6-2 at the 8-minute mark. But Lafreniere on a turnover, he gets a goal from Zibanejad at 9:53. And then that tide starts to shift as the Rangers are pressing for another. Pearson fires one wide as the Canucks would press back, but Strome scores at 14:03 to make it 4-2 from Fox and Panarin. So now that they're down by 2, they pull the goaltender with 3:04 left on the clock. They did get some opportunities, but the empty netter is put in by Elias Pettersson, and Demko got it up the ice to him. And so at 17:51, Demko with the assist. Your final score is 5-2. Vancouver goes in and beats the Rangers. They go to 26-22-6 on the season. The Rangers drop to 33-15-5 with the loss. And so between Pittsburgh's win and the Rangers' loss, Pittsburgh's now got a 3-point lead on the Rangers. It's that quick that the change can take place. Shots, 13-11 Rangers in the first, 15-6 Vancouver in the second, 14-8 Rangers in the third. Final shots, 34-33 for Vancouver. Power plays, Vancouver 1-for-1, Rangers 0-for-3. Hits 26-18 for the Rangers. Demko saves 31 out of 33. Georgiev saves 29 out of 33. And so, yeah, there you go. Vancouver goes in and they win that. And now they get to move on and play against the Devils. I believe that one's tomorrow. So we'll see if they can win 2 on back-to-backs and start putting pressure on the teams ahead of them in the run for the playoffs. Now, if you're a Canuck fan, you also were interested in what was going on in Anaheim, because the Anaheim Ducks have been falling off. The Canucks are moving up. There's the possibility of them passing Anaheim if Anaheim doesn't get it together. It was Sorokin versus Stolars in this one as the Islanders' road trip continues. Ducks press at 2 minutes. There was a power play for Anaheim. That led to a shorthanded chance for Cizikas. That was safe. They did kill off that penalty. The Islanders get a power play, becomes a 4-on-4. Everything's killed off there. 9 minutes in, the shots are 7-3 for Anaheim. So, yeah. Near miss for Getzlaf. Aho has a shot that's saved through a screen. Dobson opens the scoring. He scores from Pajot and Palmieri at 13:41. Some good pressure there by the Islanders, and the puck is bounced into the net. I wonder too with defensemen. I've noticed a lot more of these bouncing pucks. If that's going to be a thing, I'm fine with that. It'll drive goaltenders nuts because those bouncing pucks make them look like they're not playing well. But yeah, it would be really throwing off a goaltender if you bounce the puck at him. So 2 minutes of 4-on-4 shortly thereafter. Fowler has a net drive that's saved. With 1:20 left, the Islanders then get a power play. Beauvillier is robbed in the closing seconds. It's 1-0 Islanders after 1. We go to the second. Ducks finish the kill, but then Cizikas scores during a bad line change. So it was a bad line change, and Lindholm could have touched it, but if he touches it, it would have been 2 minutes on the ice. Might have been better off taking the penalty because Cizikas gets the goal from Johnston and Clutterbuck at 1:33. So that makes it 3-0. The shots are 3-1 for the Islanders at 6 minutes. So now they go into a full defensive shell, as the Islanders are known to do. Delorier is a screenshot that's saved, and this is where that Islanders playing that defensive, I've called it the modified modern trap, starts to set in. They're not giving you opportunities. You want to get into their zone, you probably can. Can you get in the middle of the ice? The answer is no. Ducks weren't getting second chances either. So you get one shot, and then it's out. Long continuous stretch going on as well. I think it was like 5 minutes without a whistle. Just Islanders hockey. This is Islanders hockey from last season right here. 2 minutes of 4-on-4 leads to some open ice play. Did give Shattenkirk an opportunity. He's denied there. And then in the last minute, there's a press by the Islanders. But coming out of that second period, the score's 2-0. Third period, early press by the Ducks. Sorokin makes saves there. Lots of early whistles. So as free-flowing as the second period was, third period was kind of a bogged down, at least early on. Carrick has a tip on a rush that goes wide. Nelson's denied. The Ducks then rush the other way. Wallstrom has a net drive that fizzles out. Milano with a bank attempt. It's a good idea, but it's saved and held by Sorokin, who hugs the post. Shots are 7-2 for the Ducks at 9 minutes. But again, they're not getting a lot of second opportunities, and a lot of those shots it felt like were from the outside. And then on a failed clear by Stolarz, the puck is turned over, and Green scores from Johnston and Cizikas at 11:43. So Ross Johnston with a couple of assists tonight. Good night for him. And that makes it 3-0. Terry then can't get a rebound as the Ducks were pressing, trying to look for an answer. And then Bellows, right after that, he gets a goal from Wallstrom and Aho at 15:06. Makes it 4-0. And the Ducks just get shut down from there by the Islanders. The final score is 4-0. The Islanders go to 20-21-8. The Ducks drop to 25-21-9. It's another blow to their playoff dreams here, and it means that the Canucks are 4 games above 500. The Ducks are 4 games above 500, and the Canucks have the 1 game in hand. So tomorrow night, there's the possibility they move past the Ducks and get that much closer to a playoff spot. So the shots, 12-7 Anaheim in the first, 9-7 Anaheim in the second, 13-8 Anaheim in the third. It's your rope-a-dope game. They even called it that. The commentary called it the rope-a-dope game. I called it that a lot last year with the Islanders. 34-22 were the shots for Anaheim. Do not tell you the story. Power plays, both teams 0 for 2. Hits 25-19 for the Islanders, I should say. Sorokin saves all 34 shots for his 8th career shutout and his 5th this season. Stolarz saves 18 out of 22 at the other end. Felt bad for him because his save percentage ends up being kind of lousy, but it was not a bad game for him. Just the Islanders were precise with getting their opportunities and putting them in the net. All right, last game, Seattle and San Jose. And there were parts of this game, I'm not going to lie, that were a tough watch. The start of this game, you had two teams that I don't know if they're tired. I mean, it's been long schedules for a lot of teams. And we might see some sloppy hockey the rest of the way from some teams that are playing a lot. Looking at the Islanders when I say that, because they still have, I think, 34 games left or 33 games left. It's a lot. And so since the season ends on April 29th, you don't have a lot of time to play all those games. Now it's Grubauer versus Reimer in this one. Sheahan's denied on a rush early on. Early jump was for Seattle, but 7 minutes in, the shots are only 2-1 for Seattle. So, yeah, not a lot of them were great opportunities there. Donato can't bury one near the half. Reimer was the one keeping things scoreless as Seattle did get their opportunities. Dunn has a blast that's deflected wide. There's a crossbar for Blackwell, and Appleton's denied after that. San Jose does open the scoring. It's Dzingel with his first goal as a member of the Sharks. It was only the 3rd shot of the game for San Jose. Couture and Gregor with the assists at 17-19. The lead does not last. It's Morgan Geekie that answers. Great backhand, high up. No chance for Reimer there. From Donato and Zarnik at 17-28. That's the 17th shot of the game for San Jose. Only 9 seconds after the Sharks get the lead. So it shows that that period was a rough one for San Jose, and yet they come out tied. So they had to feel like they kind of won that period because there's no reason this game should have been tied. Second period, we get Lauzon, fights Middleton. Pretty good tilt there. Seattle scores. Was it goalie interference? Yes. So no goal on that one. Pressed by the Kraken for another. Eventually, though, it's Reedy who scores his first NHL goal from Weatherby at 7:15. He just got recalled this afternoon from the Barracuda. So it's all right, you're in the lineup, and out there you go. I would think that for a kid, you don't really have time to get that nervous or overthink it, so that might be a really good strategy, and he gets a goal there. So Seattle tries to answer again. They don't. Larson misses wide. Seattle would press. Couture then had a tip that was saved. Good back and forth. The game seemed to open up after that 2-1 goal, which was good because there were parts of this game that just... Yeah, anyway, power play for the Kraken, that's killed off. There's another Seattle power play, and I had to laugh that when they're showing the replay of, I think it was a trip or it was a slash or a hook, they can all look very similar. You can call whatever you want, but the fact that the DJ was playing Holy Diver, chef's kiss. Absolutely, there are times where a DJ plays a song and I laugh because Holy Diver, I'm a big Ronnie James Dio fan. Surprise, I know, but honestly, that was kind of spot on. Fantastic. So Sharks killed that off relatively easily. The Sharks have a very good penalty kill. Hurdle can't bury one. He tried for the buzzer beater, couldn't get it to go. So we go to the third period with San Jose up 2-1. It's close. And my fear of shootouts that go on until about 11 o'clock at night my time in California games still remained alive. Third period, Sharks start with a full power play due to a penalty taken by Seattle at the horn. That's killed off. Seattle then out a 3-on-2 that was defended. Doesn't go very far. VL with a rush chance. Wouldn't go. Post then for Geekie. Meyer is denied shortly after that. So some good back and forth action. Goaltenders and the posts keeping the score low. Hurdle has a near miss as the Sharks press. The Sharks go back to the power play. There was a shorthanded 3-on-2 by Seattle. It doesn't go. Seattle does, though, kill off that power play. Reimer saves and holds on to a pretty dangerous looking shot from Yarncroke. The Sharks, the shots are 8-5 for Seattle at the half. The Sharks end up getting a power play yet again. Hurdle was denied as it ended, and then Gadjevich scores his first National Hockey League goal. Hey, it bounced in off of him. It's not pretty by any stretch, but it's still a goal. It still counts. Hi. What's wrong with... What are you doing? Okay, you stay right there. Stay there. Okay, so Gadjevich scores from Burns and Weatherby at 14:37, his first NHL goal, and they challenged her for goalie interference, and I'm still wondering why. And then what really drove me insane was that the San Jose announcers are like, well, I don't think he kicked it in. Well, could they rule this a kick? No, they're challenging for goalie interference. They're not challenging for a kick. So even if let's just say that Gadjevich kicks it in, it doesn't matter because they're challenging for goalie interference. That's all they're looking at. Doesn't matter. There was no goalie interference. It wasn't a kick either. And the goal counts, so that puts the San Jose Sharks on a power play. Seattle does kill that off. They do pull the goaltender, and then they call a timeout with 1:25 left. Seattle's unable to generate a goal. They fall 3-1. They go to 16, 34-5 on the season. San Jose back above 500, just barely, 24, 23-6. Shots 19-4 Seattle in the first, 11-9 San Jose in the second, 12-9 Seattle in the third. Final shots 40-24 for Seattle. Power plays 0-for-1 for Seattle, 0-for-4 for San Jose. Yeah, no, that's right. And the hits 32-15 in favor of San Jose. I was just thinking to myself, I thought San Jose had more, or Seattle had more than one power play, but no, maybe not. Grubauer 21 saves on 24 shots. Reimer 36 saves on 37 shots. Another very good game. He had 39 saves on 40 shots. Okay, so the app wasn't giving me the right stats. I'm just looking at it going, there weren't 3 phantom shots saved by somebody else. Not like Brent Burns put on the pads in between periods and I'll go out there and start it and saves 3 shots. And then, all right, Reimer, you're back in. Didn't happen. It would be very entertaining if Burns decided to play goal some night just for fun, but it's not going to happen. Anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts regarding these games in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.